Orlando Magic fans? Welcome into the Court Cousins. My name is Kyle. Happy to be joined by my dashing, my daring cousin, Jason the Pich. Not a full episode, Pich, but we got to get on here and talk a little bit about the free agency news with the Orlando Magic, and then we'll touch on your thoughts about the draft and my thoughts as well. But I'm really curious to hear what you think about it.
Yeah, we didn't even talk like end of season. Your B team Celtics won, which is disgusting to me. But at least everyone is on the same page that Jason Tatum is not the best player on the Celtics. I feel like he's a mid-level player. Jaylen Brown was the star there. He's a very good player. He's a good starting role player, but there's no way he should get compared to guys like Kobe Bryant or some of the stars of yesteryear. He can't even come up with his own celebratory doings or sayings in any way, shape, or form. He seems like a nerd that really knows how to play good ball. Respect to him. He's a great ball handler and passer. He kind of makes plays happen. But, man, I do not trust him shooting the ball. He shot the ball like shit for me in that series. And he really wasn't the key factor for them getting the thing done. But they got it done. They're a deep-ass team, man.
Yes.
Everyone on that team shoots a three-pointer well. It's a prerequisite, and just it doesn't matter if anyone knows what your name is. You can get out there on the court, except for Neemias Queta, who just re-signed, and I didn't know he was still on the Celtics. Pretty much everyone can hit the three. Such a deep team, a well-built team, and in a year where there wasn't really one super dominant team, and the Nuggets kind of got knocked out. I thought the Nuggets would be the team that would take them down in the finals, but they didn't make it there. So it is what it is. I think the Celtics did what they had to do. I had his on to them.
Yeah, just not Jason Tatum, it seems. But I want you to know, Pish, I was rooting for the Dallas Mavericks. Even though the Celtics are my B team, I wanted the victory for you in Dallas. So, I was with you in spirit. But you're right.
You can afford to say that when the team's won 18 championships, right? Like, it's like,
They are deep, though, and the Orlando Magic, Pish, just got a little deeper themselves. The big news here, of course, if you're tuning in, you probably know from our buddies over at Orlando Magic HQ. Welcome to Orlando, Kentavious Caldwell Pope. He is signed. They have in this graphic, he's a shooting guard, 6'5", age 31 and 6'8" wingspan, 3 years, $66 million. I find it funny just out the gate before we even talk about this signing, how us Magic fans are so trained to look at the wingspan. We're just it's one of the top 4 things that our boys over at Orlando Magic HQ decided to put on this graphic. It's like age, height, wingspan. Because that's
you know what they say. Wingspan wins championships. Oh, wait. No, they don't say that.
What they do say, though, is defense wins championships. And what I love about this signing, Pish, I'll go right to the Bobby Marks post, is his defense. Kentavious Caldwell Pope comes in as a veteran who's won championships, who fits the identity of this team as a defensive-minded guy. Bobby Marks on Kentavious Caldwell Pope. Here's what Orlando Magic is getting. Since 2013-14, Caldwell Pope has played 96% of regular season games. Don't we love to see that? Another Iron Man on the squad. During the regular season, opponents shot 40.6% when Caldwell Pope was the closest defender. That led the NBA among players who defend 500-plus shots. So this guy is an elite on-ball defender, elite defender. I watched some highlights. I'm not going to lie to you out there. Don't watch a lot of Nuggets. They're on the West Coast, and I'm up early. But, man, he's got that tenacity. He's got that edge to him, Pish. And, of course, he can also shoot the 3-ball. How you feeling about Kentavious Caldwell Pope, man? I'm curious to know your temperature on this signing out the jump. I really like it. I do like it.
A lot of our super religious clique has to be stoked that we now have a minister and a pope on the team. I've always thought his name sounded like some sort of disease. Kentavious Caldwell Pope. It sounds like something you catch and you just can't get rid of it. But if it's a fever, I'm good to catch it. I love this signing. This is the kind of guy that, like, when I've talked on this show, if you followed us regularly, this is the kind of guy that we need in here, right? This is a veteran. He has won championships. He knows how to get things done, and he can fucking shoot the ball, right? He checks off a lot of boxes for us. Do we need him to start? No, although he may. He may.
Yeah.
But he is here to be the guy that can do the 3-and-D stuff and has experience, veteran leadership. We're going to get him as he starts his 30s, which I think is a good age for him to be in here. And I'm just stoked about it. I think it's a good signing. It's a good contract. I feel like there isn't anything that I don't like about it. I wish I could find one thing. I just don't have it.
Okay. Well, I guess then it's going to be my job to rain on the parade, Pish. Because while I do love – I mean, we said number one thing we really need this offseason is shooting. Kentavious Caldwell Pope has been pretty much a 40% three-point shooter for the last 4 or 5 years. The guy can shoot the light. Yes. On about 4 to 5 attempts, I'd like to see him shoot even more in Orlando. And the defensive side of the ball, fantastic. Wingspan, check. Right? Smart player. Attention to detail, check. However, Pish, like you alluded to just a moment ago, $22 million ain't nothing to sniff at. I think that makes him immediately, yes, the highest paid player on the team. And don't you think that $22 million per year player is going to start on that team? So you
Probably.
feel like the starting five is already in there with Suggs, KCP, Franz, Paulo, and WCJ. I know you can talk about WCJ, but that's probably the lineup. And the question mark I have more is just at the point guard. Because Pish, at the end of the year, Paulo Banchero said what he really needed, what really frustrated him this year was having to dribble up the ball and start the offense and be the first guy to play make. He wants to get the ball in at the top of the key where he can do damage. So he wants a point guard. We still haven't gotten that, Jason. That's the only thing that I'm concerned about here. And I think Breadhead, one of our Patreons, shout out to Breadhead on Twitter, he brought up that point as well. Well, if Kentavious Caldwell Pope is your starting 2, that means Jalen Suggs is your starting point guard, which, I do have faith that Jalen Suggs can be that guy. I was just expecting to get another sure-handed ball handler, and maybe we will. It might not be over, but I don't know if I trust Cole and Anthony Black to be the other ball handlers on this team to play make, because Cole can score, but he's not good at putting the defense at a disadvantage. He's not good at making that first entry, and we haven't seen a lot from Anthony Black running an offense. So I don't know. I'm expecting more, but hey, you add a 3-and-D guy, I got to be happy. I got to be happy with that piece. The talent on this team went up.
Yeah, easily. I don't really I don't understand all the point guard talk. I've never really gotten it. We have plenty of guys that are capable of bringing the ball up. I guess is Markelle Fultz still technically a part of this team, right? Like,
No.
he might not be, but
He could be.
I mean, look, I don't know what you need. I need a guy that brings the ball up and then just gets the offenses started. I don't need, Magic Johnson in his prime. What I've needed is guys that, like, when they accept a pass, can actually hit the fucking shot, right? Like we're so that's what KCP is. And we have a lot of guys that are good at scoring, but they have to get to the basket. Franz best getting to the basket. Paulo best getting to the basket. Although Paulo's shot was looking really nice towards the end of the season. Yep. I need some guys who can pull up, hit a bucket, come off a screen, catch, shoot, score. KCP's that's I feel a bigger need for us than trying to find some backup point guard for the bench. I feel like you need to work on your starting lineup first. And I'm really cool with, it's a lot of money and he makes him our highest paid player, which is kind of ridiculous. But that's mostly because we didn't have a big money guy already signed, right? Like that's kind of on us. Like Jonathan Isaac was our highest paid player last year, correct?
Right.
Like it's not properly skewed. So I don't put that much faith in that. And because of the shortness of the contract, that's an easily movable contract. That third year is a player option, right? I mean,
I'll bring that.
That plays to our strength. I think it's good. And, I don't know I don't know him personally or obviously, but like, I'm not sure how he's going to fit, but I think he's a guy who's been a veteran and been in locker rooms, multiple locker rooms with multiple stars around the league, made deep playoff runs. And I think he'll know that, like, hey, I'm here to be that guy that has the veteran leadership that, like, no offense, Joe Ingles just doesn't provide the same level that a KCP will.
Yeah, it'll be. I don't. That's an interesting aspect of this piece that you bring up. What kind of guy is he? You would think that the Weltman, the front office, they had those conversations because they're so character driven in all their decisions. They want to bring in the right guys, not just someone who's a player. They bring in the whole person, which I like. So you got to figure KCP's in that same.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure. And I have the contract up now on the screen, which you alluded to a moment ago. It's really helpful to think about it in these terms. Now that these numbers are just getting so goofy troop, like so Disney, Pixar, these numbers are absurd. It's helpful for me to think about it as a percentage. So next year, 20 million, like 21 million is going to be just under 15% of the cap, and it goes down from there. So in the third year, which is a player option, meaning KCP could decide that he wants to pick up that and play for the Magic in that third year, that would be 13.5% of the salary cap. That's when Paulo would be signed, his extension would kick in. So I think there's still plenty of flexibility. The Magic still have some room to make some adds. So Pich, I now bring this query to you, sir. What else are you hoping to achieve, if anything, here in free agency? I'll just give you a little bit of a primer here on what you might want to talk about. These are guys that are available. The bigs, we got Jonas Valanciunas. Isaiah Hartenstein, who was a coward and did not play for the German team, so I don't know how I feel about that one. The guy that I've been trumpeting, Jalen Smith, for years now, and then Goga is an unrestricted free agent, and the Orlando Magic declined Moritz's contract, so he is an unrestricted free agent. The guards, you got DeMar DeRozan, Malik Beasley, Tyus Jones, Isaiah Joe, and I thought I'd just throw this one in for you, Charlie Brown Jr. He was a guy on the Knicks. But
is that a real thing?
No, yeah, he's named Charlie Brown Jr., yeah.
Never heard of him, but he sounds like a blockhead. I don't think we want that guy. None of those guards are good. We don't really want any of them. I would accept Malik Beasley. Most of them have no interest to me.
Really? Even Tyus Jones. Tyus Jones has the lowest assist to turn.
Stop talking about Tyus Jones, dude. Like, who cares about this guy? We don't need another short guard. Like, get him out of here. He's just a guy that fills a roster on a team like the Wizards because they need to put people out there. Like, I don't need this guy. Like, he'll probably go on some other team now and do really well. Well, that's fine. Yeah. But like, we don't need any more short guards right now, unless we're moving some of our short guards. Well, do I want to swap our short guards for him? No, that's a waste of time. What are we doing here?
Yeah, because I know you're just talking about, we're talking about Cole Anthony if you're talking about swapping short guards, and Cole is the heart blood of the team.
Okay, right. So do I really want to get rid of Cole for him? Yeah, maybe he's a better ball handler, but is he as good a scorer as my man Cole? Does he have as much swag on and off the court? No. Big no. All right, let's talk about what really matters here is these big men. Right, because we need a big man. Like, yes. I'm not comfortable with us starting the season with WCJ in the starting lineup, even though I realize that that's a strong possibility. I don't like him there. I think he'd be much better suited coming off the bench. I honestly would like to see Isaac slot into that spot and be a starter this year. But I don't know if he's ready for it. I'm not sure if his body can handle the minutes. Yeah. It's a lot. Maybe that's why they brought the Pope in. Bless this sucker and get it done. But I like Jonas Valanciunas' game. I've always liked his game. He's a big man. He can body down there. Yeah, he's got a good shot. I like what he would bring to the team. I also like Isaiah Hartenstein. I think he is another big body that goes in there and goes hard for rebounds, which I love.
Oh, yeah.
Jalen Smith, I still feel like maybe a little bit of a project. But I guess his learning curve, if he could get real good during this year, potentially. He is younger than the other guys, so there is more long-term with him. And he probably would be a lot cheaper off the get-go. You know I love Goga, but I don't know if he's the answer there. He feels like a backup big. And if I already want WCJ to be a backup to Isaac, like, how many minutes does Goga really get? Is it worth it? I feel like those minutes should go to Moritz. Moritz is really the only guy we have that's a free agent that I really, really want us to bring back.
Okay.
I feel like the camaraderie with his brother and now the other German that we've, could potentially get in free agent and just drafted is big. I just feel like we need another good inside big that's going to muscle some people around because we've got pushed around a little bit inside sometimes, and I don't love it. So that's where I'd like to see the emphasis put. I wouldn't mind seeing us get another shooter too, which is
Right.
why of the guys you mentioned, I like Malik Beasley. I've never been a DeMar DeRozan fan ever since he cried when he left Toronto for the next 2 years. Like, get over it, bro, and play or spur now. But yeah, I feel like his best days are behind him. Beasley at least can shoot the rock, but again, I don't know where he slots in unless we slot some other guys out, which, you know, could end up working out for us in the long run, but it's hard to know that. But I feel like you can easily slot it a bit, you know, and not re-sign Goga and your upgrade. I mean, we already lost what like Admiral Schofield's going to play overseas.
Yep.
Some of those other lower
Chuma.
roster guys that like didn't see time anywhere are
Right.
now, those are roster spots that we can actually get guys you know and have heard of that will be, you know, maybe they're just backups, but
Yeah.
at least that's getting more depth, which is what we need.
So before I go on and talk about the bigs, you did say that you're always up to add some more shooting. And may I offer you, sir, a one Tyus Jones who shoots 41.4% from three. He has the lowest.
But how do you know that? Like, are people at his games even keeping track of this? Is that just one game somebody happened to see? Like, no, it's like, where did he even go to college? No one knows about this man. Why do you know so much about him?
He's always been a sure-handed guard. I got excited.
He's got a good barber. He's always keeping it looking tight. I'll give him that.
See, and look good, feel good, man. And so you want that type of guy on your team. And the lowest assist to turnover ratio in the league. So I wouldn't be mad if he took the spot of a Markelle Fultz for us next year. A guy that is sure-handed and can shoot the ball a little bit better than Markelle. Now, to the bigs, I could.
Hey, you know what?
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
Okay.
If he replaces the Markelle spot, I'm okay with it because we know who Markelle is.
Yeah.
We don't really know who this Tyus Jones guy is, but
Okay.
according to these numbers that you're throwing out, sounds all right. You know, if his name and face weren't attached and where he's played, I think I'd be like, okay, that guy sounds all right.
Yeah. It would, but you're absolutely right. It would require the Magic to buck the wingspan trend. So, as you said, wingspan wins championships. So I don't know if they'll go for it, but we'll see. With the bigs, you know, I'm going to continue Jalen Smith training. He can shoot the three. I would like to bring in a vet like Jonas Valanciunas. It'd be interesting to see. Can we get him on a short-term deal? I think there's a little bit of room here, and mix that in with Moritz and Wendell. That's an interesting 5 rotation for me there. It brings you a few different types of things. Goga was fantastic for us. It gave us some great content. I would love to have Goga back, and I think that would probably be one of the cheaper options. Hartenstein's getting some interest from OKC. I think we might be priced out of that now with this KCP signing. I'm not sure. We'll see. We would see. But we definitely need a backup big. Moral of the story, we got to get someone. But I feel confident we'll get someone that I'm decent with.
I could say if those guys were our 4, I'm okay with it as long as Isaac sees more minutes. All that waiting we did for Isaac and all that stuff, and like he played a lot of the games this year, and you know, all right, let's go now. You know, be a starter. You're that kind of guy. You were making starter kind of money. Get out there on the court and be you for 35 minutes a game, 32. Like let's get some actual numbers that could have you in the conversation for defensive player of the year or defensive all defensive team, because he's got that kind of talent. So if we're going heavy with him and Suggs, then that means those other 3 guys got to score. And that's why I love KCP coming in, because he's a guy who can help Franz and Paulo. If one of them isn't cooking, KCP can cook too. So you got to have scoring options in your starting lineup. And I love that he brings that.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with that J.I. situation, Peach. The minutes that he got at the 5 in the playoffs didn't look great. That was against they didn't really have their main bigs, though. Jared Allen was out. So I was going to say against a big team, but it wasn't really big in the playoffs. And those minutes don't look good. I don't know what the numbers are, but didn't match the eye test. Maybe just some off-season work can make that happen, and he's rotating in. So, yeah, that's going to be big for this team. Let us know, second cousins out there, what did you think about the KCP signing? Are you all in? Do you have any trepidation? What else would you like to see coming up in the rest of this free agency? Check out our next video, a reaction to the draft, and see what Peach thinks about that. We'll see you soon, second cousins. Peace out.